Like being here.
All right, cool.
On the pictures up there.
You're getting close like me.
Yeah.
Here,
Good evening. Welcome to the regular city council meeting Tuesday, October 22nd. May we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Costa Junior,
Here.
Councilmember Robles. Present. Councilmember Hernandez. Here. Councilmember Canal. Here. Mayor Junior.
We have a forum. Would you please stand with me for the pledge of allegiance? Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item is a moment of thanks, appreciation, or condolences. Is there any council member that wishes to address that? Good. Moving right along with item 4, agenda review. At this time, council will look at the agenda items in the terms of its order. Is there anybody that wishes to change the agenda as noted? Staff, good. Next item is ceremonial calendar. Mr. Chief Police oath of office for Rudy Alvara, police officer. Yeah, you can come up and if you want to take pictures, don't hesitate.
Oh.
Yes.
We're bound for it.
Go on up, don't be shy.
Yeah.
Raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I, Rudy Alvara,
I, Rudy Alvara,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
freely,
without mental reservation
without solicitation,
or purpose of evasion,
for purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duty
upon which I am about to enter.
which I'm about to enter.
Subscribe and sworn this date. Oh, yeah. Congratulations. Wow.
Let the air out.
Yes.
Thank you.
First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity. I want to thank my family for coming. I want to thank the city of Guadalupe, as well as Chief Cash for this opportunity. And I look forward to working in this fine city.
Welcome and welcome.
Oh, okay. We all get it.
Come on up, don't be shy.
Got it.
Short ones in the
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I know.
It's on my.
Oh, that's the guy was on my, oh, you can order them?
Yeah, yeah, I ordered these ones that we were asking from.
Yeah, cause that was. Oh, gee. This is
I
nice.
gotta remember to do it.
Middle.
Our next item is to recognize Mr. Michael Kubender, Guadalupe Police Officer of the Year. Chief Cash.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. It is my honor to present to Officer Michael Kubender the Santa Maria Elks Lodge number 1538, the 52nd Law Enforcement Appreciation Officer of the Year Award. We were not able to present this to Michael at the dinner because he was sick, but he has shown to be a fine example of what we have put forth as officers as far as community relations, and he's a retired sheriff, so we can't hold that against him. His knowledge and experience and the way he handles his work has been an absolute godsend for us in the department, and his leadership with some of our younger employees has been really great. So I'd like to say thank you, and this was well deserved.
I'll just say, great to be here. I just hit 3 years with Guadalupe now and thoroughly enjoying it, enjoying my time. Originally, I was only planning to be here maybe 3 or 4 years, but it will be here for a while.
Okay. Thank you.
I got enough for two.
Next item, community participation forum. Do we have any letters or any request to speak? Okay, item number 7, consent calendar. Items are presented as a council without discussion as a single agenda item unless someone wants to pull one of the items for further discussion. Is there any correspondence asking to pull this item?
No.
Is there a motion, is there a council person that wants to pull one of the items A through G? If not, is there a motion to approve a consent calendar?
I make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion a second, any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All ayes, thank you. All right, next item, management report, city administrator, information only, Mr. Moto.
Yes, I just have one. I just want to let you know that we're up for another utility rate study again, so I'm going out for quotes for that, and that process will kind of unfold in staff reports, and it's called Proposition 218. And so I just want you to know that that's gonna be coming forward within the coming months.
Yeah.
And that ends my report. Thank you.
Any questions? Pat?
Can you find out from Jeff? When they're gonna start the project for wastewater?
Well, they're actually in the process of going out for a study on it right now, so that's where they're at. It's gonna be quite some time before you get to, if it, you know, they have to decide and do a pros and cons and a analysis on whether to, for here or for pushing it to Santa Maria, so they're
No,
in the study phase.
But we approved last time for their.
Oh, sure, I could do that for you.
On that project.
I'll let you know, yeah.
I have a question to you, John.
Mhm.
Do we have any updates on our electric bus?
It's, of course, you know, the situation, but right now, no, I don't have any updates in terms of, it's just parked right now. We took the insurance out of it.
Next item, Director of Public Safety, Chief Cash.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just two or three quick things. You can see on the published report that, the police department has, obtained from the California Office of Traffic Safety $57,000 DUI saturation control program. And we'll be working with Santa Maria Police Department and CHP. This is very timely since we had that, DUI and major accident that occurred on 11th, and then we had the DUIs that were over there on Main and Pioneer. So that person's still in the hospital in critical condition. So, and all that was alcohol related. The traffic safety, school traffic safety program with the street delineators that are on the 1000 block of Peralta. So far, that has been going outstandingly well. I met with the principal again this afternoon, just to get her staff and her problems, everyone, students, parents, and teachers feel that it's very safe now. So thank you for the leadership on that, Mr. Mayor, and school board members that were there, and Todd. So far, so good, and it's decreased usage of police personnel. We just kind of monitor it now and work with the crossing guards. So we're very happy with that. And last but not least, the fire department. We had a reimbursement for our mutual aid to the Park Fire in Northern California. So I don't know if the checks gotten here yet, but it's almost $100,000 that we would have reimbursement from the state for using mutual aid for our services up there. And that's my report. Unless there's any questions.
I have a question, but open it to. One of the things that handled the superintendent was to find individuals in terms of the process. What's the status on?
He has not been able to find any school personnel that are willing to do only for an hour.
I hear one of the bus drivers wants to.
We were hoping so. It's kind of hard to find him right after the school. Kind of disappears. But if we can find somebody who'll do an hour, that would help a lot on 11th Street. Because we're really trying to get a better understanding before Escalante opens. And that's going to be a major impact. And if we can get the school situation really under control, then we can kind of divert our attention there for when traffic, not only vehicle, but pedestrian traffic, start coming out of there.
About the training of that individual that's there now? Are you working with that person?
We can't because they do not work for us. The only people that are allowed to be in the street to actually direct traffic is going to be an employee for us, for the city, and have to be trained by the police department. So because that liability is going to rest on the city. So since that person doesn't work for us, we can't do that unless I can ask her, does she want to do 1 hour? We'll work with HR to see if that's feasible.
I stopped by there one time during when they just first transitioned, and there were people coming from, and Gene knows all about this, people coming from Mary Buren side, going across Peralta Street, parents, and then going back across 11th Street. And so that one individual was going across and allowing the parents to cross Peralta Street and then stopping the traffic going across while there was probably 10 cars trying to, go on to 11th Street. So has that improved?
It's helped because we have people not making U-turns.
Yeah.
But no, and I've kind of spoken to her, but she says she takes her directions from the company that she's employed with, and because she steps down, as you've seen, 2 sides of the street. And
Yeah.
she does that, sometimes it's only one person going through, and we got a lot of traffic on 4 ways that are stopped. So that's when, if I'm out there or get somebody else, we'll take over and do traffic control. But then now we're obligated there and we don't have the resources for the rest of the city. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But if we can get somebody that we can train, We can-
What's the name of the company? Or do you,
I don't know. I'll have to ask Mr. Hunt.
so she says she's taking the direction from them when it comes to safety. Now, what do we know about their training on that individual in terms of not only safety, but just transitioning from one side of the street to the other? If you're stopping traffic, and we saw this, they were parents, they weren't kids.
Mhm.
Parents coming from Mary Buren going across Peralta. Stopping the traffic from going, to me, wait, keep parents on that side until they group up. Because about the 3 parents were waiting there. And then let the cars exit, because when I went for a walk there was a car right at the cafeteria, flipping around, making a U-turn before they got into that. So they see that, and then they flip a U-turn right at the, at the cafeteria.
Well, it's one of those things, I know we're on screen. You kind of get what you pay for. That's a nice way to kind of say it. And, I think there was a low bid to get the company that is working there.
I'm not saying anything against her, maybe the training is,
Well, it's part of the training. And so, I can talk with Miss Fox, the principal there,
Right.
to see if we can work on something, but, she has a couple of good people, there, but then you got some others, who are not as, diligent in doing the
is
job.
there more than one person that does
At that intersection, she's the only one, and then you go back to, right there at 10th and Peralta, we got a crossing guard, but we have to make sure he gets up off the ground and pay attention half the time. So even I'm
another
down
ground.
there, he likes to watch his phone.
Mhm.
So I brought those issues up and they're
Okay.
trying to work with me on it.
Well, as long as it's improving day by day, and we could ask Gene about that, but he'll tell us the truth. So.
Thank you, sir.
Did you mention that the school uses a second party for the crosswalk?
Yes, ma'am.
Previously, they had a staff employee and I had seen them on the ground, so I was just curious if that was.
I wish I can bring that one back. I don't know who that staff employee is, but yeah, this is the outside company.
Okay. I have an additional question. Can you help me understand, code compliance cases and code enforcement cases? Like, how do they start off when it comes to graffiti? I've had a few individuals, just mentioned, like, their concerns with graffiti at the parks and our local neighborhoods. How does it start off? Does it start off under code compliance case or code enforcement case?
It's the same. The only thing that we've changed, in the past, we would send you a letter to comply. And if you didn't comply in 30 days, it sent you another letter and we'd go 3 letters. So we've cut that out, just send 1 letter and either get it done or we're going to work with our city attorney to, have the hearing officer deal with it. We usually work through complaints unless we see it, but we work very well with our street division. If they see stuff, they'll report to us and take a picture, we'll clean it off, and then we'll still send a letter for the cost.
But, because I know in the code enforcement case year to date, it says 2020, 2021, we can see update that.
Where I see your fingernail, but I can.
Oh, the graffiti abatement there, and year to date.
Abatement,
Graffiti right there.
Which one?
okay, 000, that's through,
The
that's
code,
way.
yeah, correct.
Is there a number
0,
attached to it?
yeah, 0. And so,
It's 9B if you're asking. You report. And that was way,
under code enforcement case, 90,
Are we looking at the page number? Maybe it's not on your. I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, 9D is from the agenda, but I'm talking on the director's report.
oh,
Is there a number that's associated with it?
this is different, I was looking at the,
Oh, I didn't bring that one up.
I can get it for you.
I was just,
But
curious because, they have different numbers, one says 0 and the other one is 2. So I was curious if there's like a different process, how does that process look like? Does it start off with our compliance officer? Should it start off with that fire? What does that look?
The way that we do it is fire and I apologize for the nomenclature here, the code compliance and I guess you're looking at both. Fire will normally do house numbers, weeds, craft, things that could be related to probably starting a fire if you don't clean up your yard. The code compliance, they'll do with as far as structures, cars that are been parked, and so that's the difference aspect of things. So that we have fire doing some code compliance aspect, and then we have Josue doing other code compliance aspect.
Got it, okay.
And
So
you said there was a number?
one shows, for the code compliance case, it shows, 2 year to date, and then the other one shows 0.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's a fire department.
okay. So,
I was just curious if they should match or not match.
okay,
And if they're, I'm looking
Oh.
at them, two different.
did they have graffiti on the fire? They could have they could have came across, I don't see on the fire department, I don't see a graffiti.
Graffiti
aspect,
abatement.
But I do see it on code compliance paperwork.
Okay, it's like number 10 down.
Yeah, I see graffiti abatement 000. Yeah, and those sometimes are only if we have cases.
Got it.
I
was just curious, fire has, the 2 for the year to date.
Okay, yeah, and a lot of times they're working different things because of what they've seen. Like we just had the 261 Todd Mazzini case where that place has been boarded up, but fire was out there doing inspections and the back door has been broken off and feel like someone has been in there. So we sent that over to the city attorney. Now, that could be listed under the fire as a code compliance aspect because we're doing work on it, but it might not necessarily be listed under a code compliance officer because he's not working on that project.
About utility boxes and parts,
As far as cleaning them,
if there was graffiti. But
we would normally report that to our street division.
it wouldn't be.
We're only gonna do a case if it's something gonna be long-term. If we can call street division, say, hey, we got this here, they'll come out and clean it up. There's no need to mark it as a case. We're just building numbers.
Okay.
Got it, okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any further questions? Regular business,
You can keep it.
ARPA allocation of funds. Denise.
Thank you, Mayor. Not up here, sorry, I didn't look at it.
Closer.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, staff. Well, ARPA allocation funds, this is a recommendation that the city review, the requested changes to the American Rescue Plan Act. ARPA allocation previously approved at the June 11th, 2024, council meeting. The background on this is City Council adopted the fiscal year 24-25 budget during City Council meeting held on June 11th, 2024, where the proposed American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA allocation of funds were also reviewed and approved with the budget. I listed the resolution indicating that in section 4 that the plan was, or the allocations were approved, and then in section 6 I referenced that just to let you know that that this was we could have done a city administrator review on this, but we wanted to take it to council, get everybody's feedback on it for transparency. So I also attached a resolution for your review, just so you can see that. The discussion here today, though, is that the city staff has met regarding the city hall roof repair and other projects on the list that were that require an extensive architectural design, RFP, or contractual bid document, as the ARPA funds need to be obligated by December 31st, 2024. The reason for that meeting is because anything that's that extensive, we won't have time to have those funds obligated. Any funds that remain unobligated after the December 2024 deadline must be returned to the U.S. Department of Treasury. This item is to advise of the recommended category changes, removing the roof and wall repair and reassigning to various categories listed on page 2 of the attachment. You want to pull up. I also provided you guys a list of what we were recommending. So in attachment 1, you have, what we had in the budget was 820,988 that needs to be, spent by December. When I was doing this review, I went back to the very first category, and that's where I found out we actually still have an additional 78,000 that was not allocated at the beginning of the budget, and this was prior to my time here. So as I was adding up each of the years and what we spent, there is actually a total of 899,707. Removing the roof repair, you have a list of things that I have suggested that remain, because those things are still being spent on, and those are already properly allocated. The Leroy Park parking lot, we were advised by Jeff that bid is probable that we'll have a document. So that one is staying. And then the rest of the funds are really based on Parks and Rec, building maintenance, items that we need for the city to do some of the work at the parks, which a lot of the funds already were allocated for CB1, CB2, or sorry, not CB1, COVID, during the COVID season, which is due to the more or less recreational outdoor activity, safety. So I don't know where you guys would like to start. But I'm kind of making this a workshop. But
we're pulling out the roof and repair. We have other funds that are available to do that.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's why we're moving. First of all, the bid process is gonna take a long time and you wouldn't be able to expend the money, but we have
that's
the
right.
other caveat of state money to run through, to actually provide that.
for the roof,
Yes,
so the one, you're talking about like the 1.1 million?
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
that is correct. We still have that, and that doesn't have a deadline on it. This has a deadline. You know, COVID, they're closing everything out for
Right.
COVID. And this is one of those things that I have to have obligated, which means a contract, a PO,
Right.
or the money is spent by December 31st.
I have 2 questions. It's probably really obvious, but what is PW?
Public Works.
Public Works.
Thank you. Okay, and then my second question, we talked last time kind of putting in a new scoreboard in the auditorium or on the gym here. I don't see it on the list. Is that something we can add?
Yeah. Could say, I mean, we can, because there's a remaining amount, and you can always shift things around and not accept some of these or others, but there is a remaining balance.
So throw that
And-
into the,
And just to let you know, eligible cost for COVID is heavy on recreation,
okay,
so it would be eligible.
Scoreboard
Yeah.
in the auditorium.
and yeah, like right here, it just doesn't, I don't think it works, right?
no, it's been down for a long time.
I feel very passionate about that one. And then one more question about another thing that I'm interested in. You guys are talking about the basketball court out here, with new hoops or not to be basketball?
It's for asphalt and the hoops I think are fine, but I mean, we certainly have remaining balance if we need to.
Are the hoops?
We have to add
Yeah.
hoops, we have the backboards, they took the hoops down.
Yeah, we have.
Okay,
just add them on, yeah.
During COVID, they
Yeah.
took it down, so.
Yeah.
That though, in
Yes.
this list, and, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's on there. It's on the list.
Yeah.
Maybe restripe.
Yeah,
Restripe, pave, yeah.
Cool. These are the items that are being requested.
Yeah.
Put down that list.
You wanna,
so a mower for Parks and Rec, their mower actually gave out. heated power washer, so this is to remove the graffiti at the parks, help remove the graffiti at the parks
And other things.
and other things.
Are you going
Um,
down this list?
The very bottom list,
She started after the.
Oh,
you
sorry, I
started-
started after what was already on the list.
after the colored list.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I see, okay, now I'm in sync,
Okay.
okay,
Sewer service line, that's for the men's bathroom and the fire department area, which gets clogged the most.
Qualifies.
Great.
the women's bathroom doesn't have that problem, it's just this side so far.
I think we started having problems on this side, but the main issue, which we could cover. Which we're saying we could cover with this fund
Mhm.
is the men's section, which needs it the most.
Right, okay.
Did you have a question, Christina?
I do have a question, because I remember when I used to work the Viva Life dumpsters, there was always one restroom we can use, and one was always clogged up. And I remember sometimes on the warrant, you have to pay,
Please,
plays to do,
Yes.
are we having it?
Oh, it's at least, I think it's like 5 to 6, 7 times a year. So we, in the, yeah, I mean, the entire city in terms of the clog, yeah. So just,
You're not seeing any increase of having.
no, I don't, the issue's more on the men's, yeah. But I mean, there's an issue, not just at the toilet, but underground,
pipe.
yeah,
Yeah,
deeper issue.
and the thing about, women's restrooms, now. You have, women need more restrooms than. Need more facilities than guys do. Than men do, not guys. There's one point that we need to really fix those restrooms, but you're talking a couple $100,000 just for each restroom.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, we just kind of got to keep it at a minimum. Because like I said, we can't do anything that's gonna have a contract.
Right, yeah, you have to go up and bid and stuff.
Yeah.
but if we get the core service line in, then that could be added later, you know, I mean, you could make those improvements later. It's really from this building to the street, trunk main or whatever.
Right,
Mhm. Okay, next one is the water line replacement at City Hall. I think this is, there was an email that Jaime, the water supervisor had sent us regarding, something that we're not in regulation with. And so that's where that cost comes from.
And that's gonna be less expensive.
So that was the quote that he had received, was that $9,845. Irrigation at O'Connell Park.
now, there's another one that we're talking, maybe we could explain that a little more.
The irrigation.
The irrigation, now, is there another,
Yeah, so right underneath it is irrigation for the tree line at O'Connell
well, the
Park.
tree line, but I'm talking about the barbecue pit area and irrigating that. Is
I
that,
think we.
That is
coupled
the
it
area.
all in with the
Yeah, that's
irrigation.
there.
that's. Need to flesh that other one. Around the barbecue pit, between the barbecue, that whole area.
Yeah.
Is dirt. And,
So you want specifically that to say barbecue and
The playground and barbecue
Yeah.
area.
yeah, the playground and barbecue area needs to be,
The
that's what
field,
this is irrigation.
the field has irrigation. It's from that sidewalk over that has no
Mhm.
irrigation at all.
The little,
Yeah, it's just,
the field itself needs a little help, but this is a big one. Putting grass there as opposed to dirt. And weeds.
and the tree line.
Yeah, the 6,000, that Christina knows about this, we planted 16 trees. And what happens, the drip system, it's only a real. A light line, and the gophers love it, so they just chew the heck out of it, so the plan. Would be to actually put PVC all along that area. There were 16 trees planted there, and there's probably.
12.
Probably 4 or 5 of them are dead already because of lack of water, so. And in the community that should be thriving on environment, we should have more trees and. In that area, because a lot of people walk through there, they had to run there this weekend. It'd be nice to really get that irrigated to where it looks a lot better than it does now.
We're okay so far, okay, so, a utility truck for building maintenance. This is like with lights, with. this is what-
Yeah,
It's basically a fully
Yeah,
loaded,
toolbox.
yeah,
Yeah.
toolbox. It's
Yeah.
like a garage on a truck, you know, it has everything that,
That's fully
Yeah.
loaded, that's why the price that it is, and that's like a brand. A gator, this is more or less for during events when, a truck is not available or, a niece needs to move around during the events. There's something that she can use, during that time.
That's a small little tractor, a little.
Yeah.
with a bed on it and something that can drag the baseball diamond, the baseball field.
If those familiar with, like, Brigade, when they have those little green John Deere's that run around and.
When your knee breaks out, you,
No,
when you break a kneecap, you
Yeah,
can lay on it. you know. Okay, forget it.
The next one is picnic tables at O'Connell Park.
yeah, they're original and they're wooden tops,
I
they're,
think the plan is to get something that's like Leroy Park, if I remember the
Right.
conversation.
I think those
correctly.
are aluminum.
Mhm.
right.
A little more durable, easy to clean. And then 2 generators, for building maintenance.
And recreation.
I have a question on that.
Yes,
What building is that, are you in this area? The building and maintenance of generators?
Those are
so
portable.
these are portable.
Yeah, they're just the
Right,
little,
they're portable ones, sometimes they need energy outside of some area, they have to, they're able to plug it in. Floodlight, I'm just going down the list, I'm not
No, that's.
So I can probably like speak more on what these are actually for, but floodlights, anybody have any questions on that?
What location?
just portable, use them with portable, yeah.
Yeah,
Use them where there's a problem at night.
kind of goes hand in hand with the generator. And then here's your paving of the City Hall basketball court in the back.
And keep in mind there, when you actually get the quotes or bids, that there might be some adjustment. But in the ordinance or the ordinance section, it allows me to adjust to that. So I don't have to keep coming back for the exact, you know.
The video system, so this is replacing the mic. Everything in here,
Yeah, it needs a lot of help.
yeah, so we're waiting for a quote from Bill Gaines. I don't think.
And others,
Okay.
yeah.
And others. So, the Spanish Mexico, in interpreting system.
I have a question.
Mhm,
What is that? Like,
mhm.
in your, like, where it would,
Headphones, translation, English to translation to those.
that's cool.
But the school has, they actually have. A contract, that's all he does. And he'll sit, that's pretty, you can't even hear them
Yeah.
speaking, they had headsets on and he's had a little, they used it here for Caltrans. And, he sits in this little cubicle and,
I think they bring in their equipment, don't they?
yeah, they bring it.
Yeah. So this, I'm not sure.
Well,
But
they
yeah,
do.
no, I
Yes.
mean, within us, we,
Well, the thing about
Yeah.
it that's more flexible, is we had to hire
Yeah.
someone to.
Yeah.
Do that. One of the issues, like with Santa Maria, they set that aside, but a lot of people don't show up. So, if we have an event where Spanish speaking translation is important. That's always important, but we
Yeah.
have that ability.
Caltrans was really heavily used. Yeah, the Caltrans meeting,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, that thing was, it's already part of the list that was approved before as well. It's been pulled up. So it is above on line. If the lines are down. All right, pave, the Met Senior Center curb area.
That's.
That's good, we should put it in there.
Yeah. My initial one, I mean, 3.5 years
Yeah.
of running and the food distribution out of there. We, a little section done
maybe 2 years ago. And we needed more because when we're running those pallets out, we have grass that's at 3 inches probably higher than the concrete. And when we have to run some of those foods through the cables, it doesn't work. So that's much needed. It's about time. Yeah. Thank you.
There is a quote and it's higher than what we put in here.
Right,
We'll adjust
right.
it.
I
This is
don't-
just one quote, so.
That's one, quote. Yeah, I think it's gonna be, it should be a lot less.
All right, slurry seal of O'Connell Park.
That's all senior center and courtyard.
Yeah, there's one, the one before that, senior center.
Yeah.
Senior center curb.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. So
Okay,
we
yeah,
have
okay, you got
O'Connell, we have the vet center, we have the senior center, and then the
Yeah,
courtyard.
okay.
Do we know when's the last time that's been done with O'Connell? Has it been?
I don't know if it ever has.
That's
Yeah.
needed too.
I don't know what it is.
We have it on the, we have it in there, so. Yeah,
This
That's
is above my knowledge.
just to stop that alligatoring.
Yeah.
All right, and then the basketball rim lift that's in the auditorium.
Oh, so what that is just basically the apparatus that holds the hoops in the auditorium would looking to replace those from those. They're like 3,000 pounds each
Right.
and they're just behemoths. So the idea is to replace those with a new motor lift and
Right.
pulley system, you know.
I believe those might be from 82 when they did the whole renovation.
Yeah, it was probably a little later for the actual lift. But it's been a while, and it's been used quite heavily.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how much the scoreboard actually costs?
I don't think it's that.
No
A
idea.
guesstimate?
They're pretty seasonable now.
I don't know.
I would stick $5,000.
Uh,
We didn't- I don't think we did. Oh, Jack O'Connell.
Jack O'Connell
Yeah.
was about 10.
Okay.
But that was donated.
That was built.
Yeah.
I don't think it was somewhere. What's that?
So the discussion is, Coast Hills is really good at wanting to donate stuff like that. So-
Coast Hills and Dignity Health
I was gonna say
often
Dignity Health.
are willing to offer scoreboards because then they can have their name up on it.
Sure.
So just,
Good partnership in the community.
Well, the one up there now is donated by the Third of Night, which is no longer there. That was an 80. I don't think an 80. Yeah.
I do have a question. You mentioned that maybe a scoreboard. Has there ever been communication about maybe one or two lights at the Jack O'Connell Park? You know that when there's football, kids are practicing very late. And then you're having vehicles having to drive and put lights up there. And make that, we know that people are accessing these parks.
Is there already the ability to have a light and we're just replacing?
No.
Is it like a pole? Is it a pole? Is it
That part should be lit up just for safety reasons.
like a PG&E pole?
No, this is right.
I believe in the past, we looked at it about 10 years ago.
Oh,
No, 15,
oh,
20 years ago. And I think somewhere down the line, it had to deal with proximity to the coastal commission.
Well, that's when we were looking at lighted football field. They
Yeah.
said, no way you're gonna have lighted football field in a coastal one, although Bismarck Beach has nothing but. lights, so we can-
Yeah,
God, or grandfather.
But I think it's
Godfather.
worthwhile looking at it, but there's
I think so.
there's a double-edged sword there. If you have lights there, then people are gonna go there at night and park there. They park there right now
In the dark.
and then drink. There's the question regarding, maybe it's not here, but there was gates for Jack O'Connell Park. I think it's off this.
Yeah, you got off of it.
Larry, sure, we could,
Chief, would
I can
you,
get that.
would you entertain that? Would the park,
apologize.
would the park be safer if Jack O'Connell, if there was some sort of lighting in the parking system or around the perimeter of the park?
Yes, but I would continue with our acquisition of surveillance cameras.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're gonna add the lighting, I think that'd be the smart thing to do. to have the cameras also. It would assist her, or, Park and Rec, I apologize. With safety and assist us when we're not there, at least we can still view it, so.
One of the things too with that, again, the double-edged sword is normally parks are open from dawn to dusk. Now, the football, they bring in their own, they bring in their own power when they're practicing this, in the playoffs. So we need to look at that, as if you have lights there. Of course, they go there anyway, people go and drink and
They're gonna drink whether there's lights or no lights, yes.
Probably drink when there's no lights.
Well, we gotta.
so if you have lights there, then that encourages people to park there.
I attended the movie nights in the park, and I remember there's it very being well lit. My 4-year-old was like running up and down.
That's Leeward, right?
Yeah,
Not O'Connell.
no, correct.
Okay.
But that one's very well lit. Do the lights ever close at one point at Leeward Park? Do
There
they
was
stay on
some-
all night?
They're probably on.
I think they're on, as soon as it gets dark, they turn on, and as soon as it gets light, they turn off.
Yeah, right.
Do you see any issues? Concern?
We got the camera in the station to monitor, plus I have it on my phone, so I get to monitor, so if we get any calls or if we don't, we check it. Leroy's been very, very well. I mean, we haven't had any issues. And the only issues we ever had at O'Connell was by the trash can where they would drink, but we can view that now and we really had any issues, but we've had a couple people in the park. But that's been during the daytime. The arrests that we've made, we got those in the park, and when the kids are playing, the parents have been very vocal about calling us. We get some people who come there to take either like a lunch break or later in the day, and they're drinking in the car, so parents will call us. So we've been pretty much taking care of that issue.
Well, there's a sign that says no alcohol.
They don't know how to read.
Looking at.
So lights at, what park was it?
No, but it just, yeah, are you talking your standard, just little spans of lights, or are you talking?
Accent parking, where like accent lighting, where you just have so many lights, kind of the perimeter of the park and maybe the parking lot. I still think it would be a deterrent. I mean, more of a deterrent than just having jet blacked out.
Yeah.
park with no lights.
It's just a matter if we can get some kind of
But even-
obligated,
Even if it was set on a timer,
a quote
something.
in that
Well,
time frame.
Excuse me, but like we do at Leroy, I think that works very well. And then two, we've noticed not a lot of traffic, but we've had a couple more families after dusk
Right,
that are there. So, it's opened up the park a little bit more than what it used to be.
I mean, not entirely to light up the whole actual playing
No, you're right.
field,
No,
but something as far as accent, maybe on a 20-foot. LEDs where they kind of just the walkways, whatnot.
Yeah.
And the parking. lot.
Yeah. Not the grass area as far as the field. No, but
Yes,
the other bathroom
absolutely.
by there.
That's on, it's on,
Or dusted on.
yeah, that's the done.
Mhm.
The restroom area.
If I can add something, I just recently purchased solar lights for one of our parks. They're really big, they look like a street light. Like pole, like
Are
at
they
the top of
pretty
the
bright?
pole, it looks like a street light, yeah, Pat actually put me onto them. I think a 2-pack was like 200 and some change. They're completely solar and you can clamp them onto any pre-existing poles.
Hmm.
So you can install them immediately. I'm not sure if you guys want to consider that as an option.
No,
but
I think it means
Yeah.
everything.
solar,
That'd be a quicker
and
option.
it's cheap and it could be kind of a starting point.
You say you purchased one?
I purchased 4 total that will be put in at Paco Park.
Nice.
And they're completely solar, so we won't have to worry about any electrical, any cables or anything. You just attach them wherever
Jack O'Connell
you want them
poles
to be
that she's talking about.
They're not installed yet.
O'Connell.
on the to-do list.
Yeah,
It's gonna get done before the end of the year.
Some temporary.
okay, okay, we'll check them out.
Anything to do with basketball courts there?
Well, if we can get some of this equipment, like the hot.
Power pressure, yeah.
sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that's why it's a hot version of
She
it.
wants one of our cameras.
Mhm. How much
No,
is-
Buckle, you know, Buckle Park, landscaping wise, it looks okay, but
Yeah.
the graffiti is,
Yeah,
that's all, might as well paint it blue, because that's all. Sidewalk,
yeah.
it's pretty bad.
But even that park, I believe if we were to even do some in the Earls or have somebody.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Well, there was an arrow, they're actually painted over.
Ooh. Not good.
It's a fresh palette for them, you know.
So it's worthwhile looking at the solar so, Common Park.
Okay. Solar pro panel.
Amazon, I will send a link to.
Yeah.
Whoever needs it.
Okay.
All right, where were we at? We were at the.
Yeah.
Okay, utility trailer, again, this is, there's no place for them to store their equipment. So this is a utility trailer for building maintenance.
Building recreation maintenance.
A scissor lift, they're saying they're using it all the time, they're renting the scissor lift when
So
they
this
do
is
use it.
this
So
a
this
used
is-
one? This is the-
Yeah, this is out of a used package. Yeah, yeah.
$3,000.
Yeah. No, you know, it'll be nice to change ball even in City Hall here, the high ceilings and they'll use,
That was a list that we were looking at through,
Yeah,
yeah, Rudy had it, yeah.
the rental group.
Yeah, it's a group that sells used equipment.
So they're saying they're pretty good, but I mean, if we can, of course, like I said, the money has to be spent, so new equipment would be best, but I believe I updated this with what Rudy had sent me, a new one with cost, but maybe,
Well, we're just the idea that we're,
so roughly around that,
Right.
okay? Maybe plus or minus, another $2,000.
Where would the utility trailer be located?
well, probably at the Bonita land
He.
or at
Rudy was talking- I was
303.
Meeting with them, but Rudy doesn't believe we need to. But on Pioneer Street, we have, the old tank,
Yeah,
it's gone. And we were talking about storing stuff there, but his concern was that it's
it's kind of in
You gotta
another, yeah. Stolen,
vandalized,
yeah,
burglarized, so
probably 303 then.
most likely this service area.
Aerator, am I saying that right?
Yeah, what that is it's like golf courses use them, they take chunks of dirt out and
Yeah,
it allows for,
Yeah, once it's packed,
yeah,
once the dirt is packed,
softens the grass.
Compact the soil, you need the water to be at about 3 inches, 2.5, and what that does is it actually puts plugs into the soil so you can get water and.
Water and nutrient.
soil, and you get fertilizer. down there
Fertilizer,
where
yeah.
it Breaks it up too,
So you do that once a year.
especially if they're heavily treaded on.
Mhm.
An auger,
Do you know what that is?
don't know what that is.
Auger digs post
holes,
holes.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That saves a lot of time.
Looking at 20 tables and 30 chairs for the City Hall Auditorium Gym and 15 tables for the senior center.
The rationale behind that, on the 30 additional tables here, or 20 additional tables here, when we had the class reunion here, we had to get all the tables from Veteran Center and bring them over here. There was 20 tables in order to accommodate people that were here. So if we rent the place out, then to me, we could charge them a couple of dollars a table instead of them renting out and having to go in elsewhere to get tables and chairs, so.
It's good to have extra too.
And then on the senior side, plan, there's SAS is a plan. I don't know if you've been in there lately, but one of the rooms they painted a couple weeks ago, the little room on the side, they dolled it up. There's a TV in there now, it's painted. They're using it as a senior kind of a lounge area to where they can have classes. And the goal, the tables that are in there now, those were donated by a retirement community out of San Luis Obispo. They're hard to move around.
The chairs.
Yeah, the chairs were donated by, that, Hometown Buffet,
Yeah,
so they're still functional. But I don't think we had, let's see, just tables at the senior center.
And they're lightweight.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, did anybody go to Hancock's thing, this past week? Did there,
No, I didn't.
Anish, did you know anything about that? The Hancock board meeting?
I
They
didn't-
said it went really well and they thanked the recreation department and maintenance, one of our maintenance guys closed up for them. For helping out with it.
Okay, cool.
They said it went very, very smoothly. And they liked the new room.
Yeah, the new room is cool.
And the fees,
What's that?
Yeah,
and the fees.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Had to throw that in there.
wait.
if I make a quick comment on the tables and chairs, I didn't want to butt in earlier. The auditorium has a max capacity of 240 seated. So the reason why we don't allow. The reason why we have a certain amount of chairs and tables is so that when people do rent, they don't try to seat more people. I know that people like extra tables for serving and things like that, but we just try to. Hannah was explaining, and so was Esther, that it was just a matter of making sure that we don't have more tables and chairs than people. Than the limit of people that should be in
So what
there
do you have now?
for fire. We have enough tables and chairs for the 240,
okay.
so. Just throwing that out there.
Would you think we needed extra for like serving? Maybe 5?
You have,
Yeah, I would say like a more minimal amount if you
you
want.
have serving, you have, a lot of times you'll have the raffle tables, you'll have.
So
Silent auction.
The thing about trying to charge people per table and chair is. They'll just go over to Delfino and they'll just be like, hey, can I just do it from you? I think he does like 50 cents a chair or something like that.
No, I don't,
And
my
so,
concern isn't that, if we have it here, instead of going and getting extra tables.
In-house,
I just wouldn't have too many.
right?
Because it helps us control the situation when they're setting up and things like that. But,
Are we gonna utilize the C train for storage on that? So,
the C train is being used for the recreation department to put supplies in, which was. What I think it was the original purpose. It was full of a lot of like literally trash and stuff. So I cleaned it up. The stage is where the tables and chairs are kept because they're all on rolly carts. And then you can roll them out. It's not ideal, but it makes it faster for people to set up and put away. Drop-in uses them. I mean, so many people use them all week long. That if they were locked away somewhere else, they would have to drag them in and out of the
No, they
gym.
have to stay there, easier.
If we had a little room off the gym where we could roll them in, that'd be awesome, but obviously, that's not the
And-
case.
also, when we were talking about the courtyard here getting slurried, are we also talking about having the up to the ramp to the back doors, so we have a smooth transition?
That would be awesome.
Cause it's in bad shape. I mean, you
It's
can-
like that.
Right,
We could build that in.
I mean,
One of
Step
the
down.
problems is gym is lower than that. And you're gonna,
Yeah.
you get rain, you're gonna have.
right,
It's gonna shoot down there.
But if
that
you
kind
can-
of-
Yeah, if you can asphalt it a little bit,
Yeah,
like the other day, the scissor lift, they had to put like 10 or 12 pieces of wood in different formats to get the scissor lift up and onto the floor into the gym and then back out.
'Cause it's heavy.
That's worthwhile looking at. And
Yes.
let's look into that whole kind of,
Okay, so slurry.
It's not actually slurry. We're actually gonna re-asphalt it. It's gonna all, it's gonna all be
Yeah, no,
re-asphalt.
yeah.
It's not even gonna be slurried. It's gonna be just asphalt.
yeah.
Yeah, like an overlay.
It's right there.
Yeah.
It was right in the front, like. Maybe City Hall basketball court. in the
Yep.
back.
Yep, it's just like a 2-inch or whatever overlay. Cause it's so beat up, slurry's not gonna do anything. Yeah.
One of the things that's, as a side note. When there's liquor sold. They are not supposed to go inside,
That's right.
and they're supposed to set up an area out here. That very rarely happens, but,
Maybe a pad.
I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about tables.
Okay,
So if they have
gotcha.
to set up out there. You know, if we don't need the tables, then fine, that's fine, But we got enough tables to accommodate the,
Yeah, I'll go through and count everything tomorrow, and then I will send an update of what we have.
including chairs.
Including, yep, chairs and tables, yep.
All right, so a plotter for Public Works. I don't know.
That is, it gives you the ability to print out large, like, let's just say,
Got it.
you could do a vesting tentative map, large. Yeah, so you could do a lot of things with it.
Well, the thing about that, and one of the issues that, Matt was in here, sure, not Matt, sure, not Matt,
Garrett?
Garrett.
Yeah.
Talked about the plotter in that it takes maintenance.
That's true.
If you go to, in my other life, when we had to run plans or maps, we used, the contract. And then we don't have to spend $10,000 on that. Where does it, who operates it? What's the maintenance cost on operation?
Yeah, I don't know that. I do know that, Dan Aaron knows how to run GIS and programs like that. And then-
Good that you don't run. Well,
Well,
probably not hard
yeah.
to do.
This, I have, so now that I know what it is,
Yeah.
I use one at work to print big things. That's what it is, right? Or-
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have a computer that plays with it too.
Who really knows?
Yeah.
Actually, The girl that does our graphics at my work, has one. She was on maternity leave. I had to figure it out. I figured it out. So they have them just like HP plotters. So you can
Right.
get one that's pretty user friendly and stuff like that. So I am all for it. It's a really good tool. So, but they're easier than I think they used to be.
I have no problems looking at it, making sure that we need it.
Right, right.
Don't buy it and sit there. When somebody leaves,
It's gonna.
the screen doesn't.
Yeah, that's this machine that's sitting there, yeah.
Gonna have Whitney go in there and run it, so.
Volunteer.
To be honest with you, I almost think that recreation would probably, I could see them using it,
Yeah.
honestly,
The draft.
Yeah, roll.
you know, because you
Yeah.
could do a lot of advertising with it.
Never seen.
Put it together.
Smells good.
Yeah, large printouts. You know,
Well, a computer to go with it, basically.
Yeah,
is what the
That's
next
what
one
they
is.
can do.
yeah,
We get like our budget on a bigger paper. Maybe.
Yeah,
it's by design.
Okay. I was trying to enlarge it.
What's a public works window?
So there's a window, that's, if there's a room it's enclosed with no window, and it's basically, you know, you walk on this side, it basically have a window for if the public works director gets hired, they'd have a window that's allowing for fresh air, and it's
You
ARPA
got a window
eligible.
going on the outside?
No, on the inside,
The inside.
this side, yeah.
And that's for
There's a vacant room that Chisholm used to sit at.
$2,000 for a window to cut into drywall and put a window?
So
in?
that's just the number we got from Rudy.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
if somebody wants a gold plated frame, then
Yeah. We probably could, yeah.
I don't know if that's what it costs, but it's.
But if, you know, obviously we'd get quotes, if it's not that amount, we wouldn't, you
Yeah.
know, do it. And the flooring and whatnot, I just personally don't think that's necessary. Pull that out
This
there.
could be out in the new truck.
Yeah, yeah. I just think I don't know about the flooring, in my
What's-
opinion,
Wasn't
for one of the office.
$1,000 into that,
This is for where Shannon's office used to be, that room.
but wasn't that whole room? wasn't
They
that-
did put up a wall in between to shorten up their office, but they didn't do anything on the flooring. And they did some kitchen work there too, so they have a whole kitchen over there. But I personally don't think you need the floor.
Well, what kind of flooring are you talking about?
I'm sure it sounds like, to me, if you did Pergo or something like that, it'd be a lot cheaper than that.
What's the size of the?
Yeah.
It's not a large area. I guess it's probably 10 by 14 or something like that. Yeah, or maybe 140 square feet.
That probably shouldn't cost that much, but those.
You can shift, yeah, plug numbers.
Well, why when it comes nice hardwood floor?
Exactly, yeah.
Or maybe that's what he's even thinking about.
Especially with boots on. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Really. $20 foot.
I have a general question. All this seems fine to me. I mean, I know there was some back and forth with some stuff, but what if? Do you, who has the discretion to change it and you'll, so like, if you decide to do flooring or not flooring,
I could just
That's your
report back,
call.
I could report back. to
and
you.
you'll just
Yeah.
report to us,
I-
right?
I'm always very transparent. I mean, we only have a 2-month window here to,
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
gotta get going.
yeah,
and then that being said, is it anything over 15K that has to go out to bid? Is that correct?
our legal
5
advisors,
zero.
yeah, 50,
Under 50K
just get
Um,
quotes.
quotes, just quotes, one quote, or 3 quotes?
We try, not everybody's always gonna reply.
So if it's over 50K, it goes out to bid. If it's under 50K, you just need 3 quotes and you go with the lowest bid? Or do you do best value?
Lowest, most qualified bidder.
Okay,
So there is some discretion there.
and then the items that are over that 50K threshold, like the 80,000 utility truck, what happens? Do you just?
That's, yeah, that's more of like a purchase. Yeah, it's not really,
Variance of the
you're not
cost.
bidding on like professional services and things like that. It's, yeah.
And then parking lots already out to bid, or is?
We're getting quotes on those already. The Leroy Park, actually, that's gonna require, Jeff will have to do a bid doc on that, but he thinks he can get something, signed before the end of, this year.
Right.
And as long as that's signed, then we can spend later.
And the other item, 50K is the utility trailer, similar to a truck.
Similar to a truck. Yeah.
So what happens if the irrigation for Oak Colony Park goes over 50K? Okay,
We won't be able to.
Then, yeah, we'd have to,
so would you be getting quotes for those items? Let's say the irrigation, you get 3 quotes for it, and if all the quotes coming over 50K, you'd have to go out to bid?
But we just won't do it. We won't be able to. Because we won't have enough time. I have to have it obligated with me that and under contract with them. So we
How-
have 2 months to do this.
Yeah,
well, theoretically.
yes, that's quick turnaround for the government.
Yeah.
So would you then, Todd, be the one to
Yeah,
switch directions on where that money would?
yeah, but it would be a collective kind of thing. It's not, there'd be communication with all.
If it's something
departments.
massive, we'll take it back. to you.
Yeah.
So everybody.
We could create a committee,
Yeah.
yeah.
$1,000 scoreboard.
Although once it be donated.
And then my final question on this, when's the last time the floors in the auditorium were replaced?
Oh, they were
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Now, I just know that that's something that. With
Yeah,
the
they-
big
They're
sign.
refounded.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
okay.
I have a question on that. Do we have maintenance? Can we purchase anything to, just take maintenance on that flooring? Because it's
To
so
maintain the
expensive.
maintenance.
Not in a long term, it's kind of a one-off. These are like one-off purchases we have to do within the next 2 months. We can't like put it into operating.
And then there's like a really old mop to mop. Is there maintenance and like maintenance materials for people that are looking for?
You could buy materials and you could buy any kind of cleaning, apparatus, or you could buy a sander, you could do all kinds of things.
Yeah, you don't wanna get into sander and then.
Yeah,
Let's do it. It's gotta be professional.
but bottom line is really recreation and sort of outdoor, like ventilation, systems for our city council, because the idea was not to touch papers and, communicate via Zoom. So they're like eligible, they're allowed for that. And recreation was a big one that we had, yeah. Honestly, yeah, you could do that. Should we look into it?
Yeah, if
Bid for a scoreboard, we might as well tack in a PA system.
I would do them
Okay.
separately.
Scoreboard. When you're gonna need the other.
Okay,
The other thing that the rec commission brought up the other day, due to the different types of events that are happening in the auditorium is a curtain. We don't own a curtain. They had to, for one of the events, we had to borrow a curtain from Alan Hancock.
For the.
for the
for
auditorium
the
stage.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's,
I think.
I think that people that went to school here, like Amelia, knows that.
was that? Just kidding.
But I think that's a good point, because if you had a, you know, first of all, there was the main one, then there was several in the back of it, where you could actually have a play there.
At this point, the recreation department or the recreation commission just wants one, just so that when we do have an event or something, sometimes you're not using the whole stage.
Right.
And it looks really terrible behind you. Also with that weird door situation that,
That needs to be replaced,
yeah.
that door back there.
Oh.
And just if you are like the fashion show, when we were doing that, it would have been nice to have our own curtain. We had to borrow a curtain, install it,
Right.
use it, take it down, take it back down and have.
Should we investigate the idea of that? And
Setting aside some of the, take the, at least the tables and chairs, we're not doing that. For the auditorium, or the tables for the auditorium. But I think it's a good point. It looks, it doesn't look like an auditorium, or it doesn't look like a stage without curtains.
Yep, Johnny Carson will come through and
Yeah, everything.
So, talking about the PA system being donated as well, or you talking
No,
about?
no,
Yeah.
that's a purchase.
Oh, okay.
That's a
That would
purchase,
be
but I
the-
think you might want to find a sponsorship with the scoreboard.
Sponsorship with the scoreboard is a great idea. But a PA system is a really good idea too, but
Well, you could look at that, the donation cheap is on the foundation over there, so.
And
Yeah,
Which one?
yeah.
What consists of a PA system? Like, what do you need?
You need the amplifier, you need the speakers, you need the mic, we don't have a, what do you call it, a podium out there. You should have one that sits over there.
So we do, the rec department owns 2 speakers. And it also has microphones that we can plug into them.
that thing. The
Uh-huh.
that thing that we've
That
taken.
thing,
yeah, but is it something you want to fix or something that's portable? Yeah,
That's actually a really
although,
good idea. The portable PA system that she uses for events,
To
we
what?
use an
Yeah.
upgrade too. But
Yeah,
I think if under the 50K threshold, getting a PA system that's permanently affixed in the auditorium would be,
so like, where would it live?
Well, that,
Well, normally you
You
have
have to
the
have somebody
scores
come in and
team
analyze it.
that Ron used to use.
yeah, that
And
they
I
threw-
don't know if there was a connection to. a
There was.
microphone
Goes up.
at one time,
right,
and it was wired to a couple of speakers. But you would probably need the scores table and somewhere to connect on stage. So those 2 spots are probably where you'll be working.
Oh.
with technology these days,
Yeah.
like
I need to.
yeah.
was at an event with her, she has this really complicated system that I barely know how to
Pretty
use.
brutal.
I have a Bluetooth speaker that's just as loud, just as microphone, you know what I mean? Something like that could be,
Yes.
it's something way easier, at least for the Parks and Rec department, I think you could use like. For $300, you can get an amplified Bluetooth speaker with a microphone. That would be for you, but for the auditorium, I think with the new technologies and things like that, we could probably figure it out, so. But that's a good idea.
Mhm.
It would be great when we have like community meetings, town council meetings to have that available.
And would the speakers be like up mounted?
Well, one of the,
They would be
I'm
mounted.
gonna
Flush mount.
interrupt here, that's hard wall.
It is. Like-
You're gonna have, you go to the theater in the Rio Grande, you go to any of the theaters or the carpet. To knock the sound down, but you've got bounce all over the.
Right,
all over the
that's true.
place.
Yeah.
So putting speakers up, you need to actually look at the
Sound.
configuration of the walls and the, you know, how to deal with that.
Well, would we wanna have maybe 2 portables, one for the rec and then one that every time the auditorium's used, we say, here, this is.
We
The
can
one-
test, I'll bring mine that I'm talking about. And we'll go see what it sounds like in that auditorium, because it's a really cool thing. I got it for Christmas for my husband to sing karaoke.
Yeah.
So you think you could drop by tomorrow?
See, with all the artists, the Viva La Arte, they all complain about that sound.
Yeah.
Well, it's something to think about, but I think
Right now,
PA
it's
system,
two
and I think portable one for our needs would be super
And my.
Yeah.
important, because.
You guys good with that?
Not great. But other than that,
Upgrade this one, upgrade the other one, and
yeah,
see what's out there.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Cool, this was a good conversation.
did you get all that, you guys? So we're all on the same page? Okay. Okay.
Working on all that.
Okay,
What is a new projector for?
Oh, no,
No.
the nieces are. Yeah,
No, Anise and I were talking about it last
Oh.
night.
no, that's already,
Bought one, but I wanted to put the cost in.
Oh, that's it, yeah, that makes sense.
Do we have a PowerPoint, 5,000 lumens projector?
It was only 200.
No, what I use for the movies is a 1080, something like that is what it says.
Yeah, that'll put you,
It's just for inside movies. It's not, it's like one that I can just move and have a movie whenever I want. It's not mounted and it's not fancy like
Right.
this.
hmm,
It was $208 on sale from like 300. Because our other one died and I have a movie night on Friday, so we had to
Mhm.
move quickly and.
yeah, there's, when we had the Sport Hall of Fame, we had that, we rented a 5,000 lumens projector that you can, from here to shine it on the
Oh, yeah.
wall out there.
wow,
Really nice.
But I don't know, you don't wanna go spending something and it's just sitting there, so.
yeah,
Well, we use it once a month and I feel for $200,
worth it.
it's worth
Okay,
it and,
yeah.
We'll
and it
see.
trades off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The other one broke, so we need this one, so.
well, I'd go higher than. What's the lumen, you said 1,000?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just on a time crunch. All the ones that are higher and more expensive and probably better, it was gonna take like 2 weeks to get.
Well,
oh, we got 2 weeks.
then we have.
I don't have 2 weeks for my movie night.
Oh, I'm talking long term, long term.
Yeah, I mean, we could,
Yeah.
There's one right there, I don't know what that is.
yeah, it's. I think it's similar to the.
But I think what they're saying is long term, you
Oh,
can get
yeah.
past this meet, yeah,
Agree with you. I'm on a tight time crunch to make the
Yeah,
movie happen for Friday.
that's,
you can go small and go large. and-
Yeah. Best Buy had some that were about $500 to $600 and they were the better ones.
Yeah,
Just took too long.
it's not that much. Money.
if you go to audio visual, businesses, they have. All the way from the little guys to the big guys.
Yeah, some are
Yeah.
Office Max or something,
I'll look into.
Office Max.
Just
No,
moving
it was more of a discussion. It didn't need
Cool.
to be voted on.
That's
There's
good,
no
that's good.
resolution. We're just kind of, I wanted you guys to see where the money was gonna get sent to, and if you guys had any input on where you wanted to move the money to. Of course, I gotta get now pricing for what we've added, to see if we're, at least in the ballpark of what we have. But I think this is a good amount that might cover the rest of what we have remaining.
Cool. Thank you for all that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's all the resolution on it.
You know, it's an old resolution.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The 2024-38.
just to show you the language in it. Yeah. I believe, yeah.
Okay, going to item 11. Amendment to fee waiver policy. Any's-
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I have this fee waiver amendment. It got brought up at the last city council meeting by Todd. We were mentioning how the cost to waive fees outweighs.
The way piece.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because we spend more to do all the paperwork and touch the item by so many staff members to then waive fees that are less than what we had put in. So the idea here would be that as long as the total rental costs, so that's all the fees, everything when Esther does the contract, as long as the total rental cost is $650 or under, it would be waived by the hourly fees would be waived by Todd, or he could appoint someone that could do that. And then, of course, if they're $651 and up, then we would come to council as we have been.
If they want to request.
If
If they-
they're requesting fee waivers and that the original fee waiver stays the same. It's still only the hourly fees that are being waived, nothing else is being waived.
Any questions? You need a,
Oh, finance.
Are we reviewing any paperwork from the nonprofit like we were?
yeah,
The
Yeah.
whole process-
Process is the same.
the
Okay.
whole process is the same, it's just when we get to the point of me writing a staff report, sending it to him, Todd looking at it and all that, we skip that one.
Okay, because also I think in the one that we were waiting for another, I don't think I've seen any financials that they were providing when they were requesting from council before.
They send all that to our department and then I just provide a staff report.
Oh, got it.
So
Okay.
all that doesn't come all the way here.
It's redacted.
Okay.
Is there a motion to approve the amendments, the fee waiver policy?
Motion to approve fee waiver policy amendments.
Second,
I second.
any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Alright,
All right, thank you. Thank you, Denise. Future agenda item,
Hmm. Masterpiece, maybe?
nobody?
Next-
I have.
Yeah. Or
I
next
just
meeting
have a
or?
question. It might be in the comments part of it today, but, we used to have that art, the statues around town.
Yeah, they're still back there. You want some?
Yes.
Oh, you
People ask me, knowing that I'm on the council here,
Do they want them?
I want the spot.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We need an auction.
Yeah.
I had asked why they were no longer on Guadalupe Street by the train. You know, they had the guys that were
They were breaking apart and, yeah.
Tiger Woods was in my neighborhood and he kept falling over. So,
Oh, I thought you meant literally meant Tiger Woods.
okay, that makes sense. So you guys just moved them because they were.
Well, the
Yeah.
rationale was the art group that donated them said that they'll donate them and they'll maintain them. And then they went.
Then they went belly up.
yeah.
So then we ended up with them.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Where's the
People are
one with
weird,
the
but-
guy with the head in his hand? That was downtown.
That was, yeah,
Where's that one at?
that was in front of Narlo's.
Yeah,
Not back here.
no, no, they,
I
is
don't know.
it back there with you guys?
Yeah, there's one with
Is it back there? I want that
I
one.
think last time I heard when Shannon was working on it was the idea was if they don't go anywhere, I think council granted you to throw it in the dumpster, if I remember right.
Recycle that.
If I remember right.
I don't think that's correct. I think,
I don't,
I think they were proposed for sale. It's surplus property.
And I remember Joyce,
that
was
was
gonna
donated.
work on it.
Yeah, it was stunning.
Yeah.
Someone came into my office today and amazingly enough brought that up. And they asked why they were still out there and that they're falling apart and they're worried about the danger of them falling and hurting someone. When we have those parties or, you know, when people are out here drinking alcohol and things and then having a party inside, you have this whole courtyard full. And then if we do decide to do the slurry, we gotta.
Yeah, we have to move it.
Should put that on a future agenda. I don't think about them.
I know Joyce remember she was part of that whole,
Yeah.
the former clerk. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just met three guys standing right there by my mom's office.
Yeah,
And the homeless people walking up, talking to them like they do.
Happened. I saw the three and I was going home. And I stopped, I thinking, these guys are gonna cross the street, what's taking them so long? And then it hit me that they were the statues, so I just kind of started driving to go, oh my God.
you
I
could
couldn't
dress it
believe
up as a police officer, put it over on Peralta. Sorry.
just wondering if the box was missing.
Well, now if it goes missing, we're gonna wonder who took it.
Everything you're saying is all in the minutes, right?
Right, yeah, believe me, they're all in the minutes. Yeah,
Little side note, but now that you said that, could we get solars out in the courtyard? There's a light that was hanging off the side of the building, which doesn't work anymore, and then there's one other little tiny light out there.
add it to the list. Yeah, add it to the list. Add it to the list.
It would just be like 4 solars,
Yeah,
so it'd be about $500, but it
Okay.
would cover all.
Especially if you're gonna be having events when people are out.
yeah, put it on your, so 4 courtyard solar.
No, no. The whole thing is to be repaid
Sorry.
on here. There's
Or
one on
for-
this one for it to be all repaid.
Yeah, but what, I mean, I wanna just talk about it. I don't know, maybe there's just a bigger conversation to have about the courtyard.
Visitor, okay.
Not the block and the art and the, I mean, it's gonna get repaved, it's gonna.
That's just- Man, the guys that move up to the old.
You know what should happen? There should be a barbecue pit over there,
It's like that.
even if it's portable, that belongs to the city.
Uh,
Everybody has to
Like
go,
the trailer one.
yeah. What
Denise,
happens, we have to go through.
Yep.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
we have to-
Denise, portable barbecue pit on wheels,
We will.
Santa Maria style.
portable, portable BBQ.
The sea tree,
This one or the one in,
this one painted just like, it's just solid color, like white or something.
Oh, you don't like the words on the side?
No. Just for the same reason, people have events out here and
Yeah,
talk to
sea
Tom,
tree
talk
just
to
looks
Tom,
a little-
we got some, Denise.
okay,
yeah.
Yeah, we'll work well,
sorry. going back.
They put the silver logo on. Okay.
Right?
solar, I guess, yeah.
I think you're right though. with
The world's
this
going
courtyard, Cause there's grass there, it's a nice little area right now.
Yeah. Now that my daughter's gonna marry Buren, like I'd walk back there and kind
Yeah.
of, you know, cause we pick her up right here,
Right,
after Kinderbridge, so. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there, so maybe just talk about it.
It is a really nice area, that tree, and it gives off really nice shade. It's,
Maybe put some benches to go around it.
we have one little picnic table out there that's kind of
No,
funky,
but like, you
but
know, just the benches, if you kind of like circle around the tree and just.
hug the tree.
Bye,
okay, we got enough of that.
okay. Moving on,
Now, let's see, where am I?
Proposed
Council
meeting.
activity reports.
oh, okay.
I have a list, if nobody else does. Gene?
Volleyball ended for the junior high, so now we're starting seventh grade basketball. Yeah, that's about it right now.
Gina?
I helped the recreation park lead their first hike out at the public dunes. We had about, I believe, 6 individuals, 2 individuals were over the age of 71. It was really exciting to be able to lead them out there for the first time. It was very engaging and I hope to hopefully lead another one in the future. Also wanted to share that CEC along with their partners will be hosting an air quality report card family night on Friday, November 8th, 5 to 8 p.m. They will present important project updates, including findings from soil sampling conducted here in Guadalupe at 4 sites. That is November 8th at
Where at? Where?
Beaver Park,
8th or 9th,
November 8th.
8th.
And then this past week, the Chumash Heritage National Marine Sanctuary was approved. It is America's 17th and one of the largest marine sanctuaries that we have on our coast, which is really. Wow, they're on the coast for over 10,000 years. The sanctuary honors the cultural and historic importance of this area, what they focus on respectful, community-driven environmental stewardship. Thank you.
Good. Gilbert? All right, I'll go real quick. We had the ribbon cutting, this past, Saturday. There were quite a few people there. A lot of good food. Tomorrow, Thursday, SBCAG and San Barbara area, pollution control district, we're meeting this Thursday. There's Caltrans, we're gonna be talking about the Caltrans project update, and I have a couple of items, that are related to Guadalupe. We're having the Route 166 and 1. That's still in the planning stages, but that's 12.9 million. That's what we're talking about the Route 166 from Guadalupe to Santa Maria. That's 1.4 million. So that's in the summer of 26. The first one, the summer of 25, that's the planning. And then the actual bridge, summer of 2025, that's when they look at replacing that. That's 33 million. So there's a lot happening on the transportation side. Santa Barbara County Food Bank, they want to expand services here in Guadalupe because what's happening is that Guadalupe is what they call disadvantaged community. There's a lot of low income people here. They want to expand services, food services, distribution services here. We've been working with the school to the school wanted to do it, but they're putting in solar. at McKinsey. They want to do it at McKinsey, and that's all walk up. That's still in the planning stages. There's over from July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2023. There was 57,000 individuals served for that year, that year's time here just in Guadalupe. And a total of 7,716 families. Total of produce that was distributed is 124,000 pounds of produce that was distributed. And part of that is the dry, and aside from the produce, the dry cans and stuff, that's 173,000 pounds. They were distributed for a total of almost 300,000 pounds of commodities over last year that the city is involved with. So we should take our hats off to ourselves on that. Veterans stand down this Saturday, that's at the Fair Park in Santa Maria. It opens at 9:30, 9:45, services open, 12 noon, barbecue for the veterans. And closing ceremonies at 1 o'clock. So it's interesting to see all the veterans and the services that are provided there, from dental to mental health, to food, to clothing, to just everything that those that are needed in terms of the veterans is you have the Air Force. It's funny, at the Air Force, they have a lot of equipment. They have a lot of the canvas bags and stuff like that. And what was happening is people were going in and getting stuff, taking it to the car, going back in and getting more stuff, taking it back to the car, and then selling it. So they're watching it this time. Yeah. Anyway, that's my report.
Mayor, can you share a little bit about the state Route 166 for this study that was further did out and it's available in English and Spanish?
Go ahead.
Okay, I know that as mayor is part of the FBCAG, and I just got an email earlier that there is a survey and it's in English and Spanish, and I believe it's really important that we fill this out and we encourage our residents, just because as we head out to Santa Maria, we see that there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of delays, so if we can please find out or just try to share the survey out if it's on our website or social media, I think it would be very valuable as a community.
Now, one of the things that Katrina brought up earlier today was that the county is looking at roadside stands that we see popping up all over the place. So they're gonna look at kind of restricting that to certain, they want to open it up to vendors that will generate money for themselves or their families, but not open it up to conglomerates to come in and just, throw up their stuff, in the middle of nowhere without help from it. So anyway, okay, Chief.
Just two real quick on the food bank. What's the date for November? Is there anything special? 7th, anything special because of Thanksgiving that you might be aware of so that we can plan?
You're talking free turkeys? No, I don't think
Yeah.
that's they do that in Santa Maria.
Okay.
And I don't know if that was Christmas or for Thanksgiving. So.
Okay. And the last one, Todd and I spoke real quick, and I forgot to bring it up about making sure for the voting day that we make sure we have clear parking for at least 2 spaces.
Yeah.
They're not here though.
Well, at least the
drop box.
the drop box.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
drop box.
Just for the drop box, so that no one has any problems trying to park. So
And I think they let us know and they kind of demand it, so we'll have to clean it off or something. Yeah.
so that's something that we're working on.
Don't forget the vote if you haven't already. So. Is there anything else adjourned to announce? Is there a motion to adjourn to close session?
I'm open to when the close.
I second.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Yes, please, yeah. Yeah. Put along.
It's still in our.
I keep them all. Attorneys are too.
Forgot about pickleball. Thursday, are you around Thursday? Afternoon for pickleball, just by the way.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
Thursday afternoon, guys?
Yeah, I have a, yeah, I did.
Janice, the email you sent, that was the only comment? You're fine with everything? Okay.
Yeah.
So just go ahead and make the change on that letter
Okay.
and,
I put them on.
yeah, coming from you. But just wait for Todd to approve the policy, because you're gonna copy the policy, and copy the policy.
Yeah.
If he has a meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If it was for my signature, please go ahead and make the change. When I draft your letter, give you a starting point.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I forgot about it, you know?
I'm down to like 18.
Yeah. Right. So obviously, you probably don't even want to bother hunting them down with the 18 or such a small number. We'll just get them in the next 3 years, but then they don't have any argument. As long as you have a process that you come up that's fair, like M or
Yeah.
numbers that you're assigning. I don't know how you. Or you
I'll work
could,
with Isaiah.
or you could do random, as long as you don't do the same ones, you know, more than once every 3 years.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll probably do like.
Whatever you do, put it in writing and then follow it. And if somebody complains, if they got put on, they're being retaliated, because they stupid their rights, say, no, here's the policy and this is what we did.
Yeah, I'll put it in the letter of what I'm doing, like you stated, it's like 3/4 of it, so.
Yeah. Okay, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
You need to.
Can't get away with
No.
Can I bother you with this right now?
By the way, I don't think I have. 10. Let me-
You know, I don't think I will.
Got 2 10s? I don't have.
Oh, no, it's in my
I'm not worried about He needs the 210.
10. That could change, you should. Or anything that will leave the money.
I don't carry cash. This is like my car cash in case I need cash.
I have a 20 I can give you if you have 20 in smaller bills.
About a latte.
Okay, never mind.
Mika.
All right, I'll still do it.
Yeah, and then which part do I keep and which part do you
Keep
keep?
that part.
Okay.
No, really?
Yeah.
So I will.
You want me to, I won't forget.
I won't forget either. It's gonna keep me up at night. You have Venmo? You have Venmo? Well, let's do Venmo instead.
You just need to, right?
Yeah, or I could Venmo me.
I love Venmo. Is it under your name?
Philip, yeah, think, oh, at, yeah, fine.
Yeah, got it.
We're not still broadcasting, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't wanna tell everyone, actually I should, they can send it to me.